guys, welcome back to another budgeting video. Today I'm going to be talking all about my low buy year rules. I was asked recently about where was my no buy rules list for 2019. And I actually don't think I ever made a proper kind of introduction to it. So I wanted to make this video now in 2020. If you don't know my journey, I did a 2019 no buy year and I'm continuing it as a low spend year into 2020. So if you haven't seen any of my videos, I will leave the playlist in the description. There are tons of budgeting, saving money, tips, advice, updates of how my, my check-in. But this video is going to be about my low spend rules and also just advice for you guys if you're also looking to do it. We have a Facebook group which is growing hugely. I'm so thankful to have you all over there as well. I just find like it's a really nice way to connect with you on a much more personal level. So if you would like to join, I'll leave that down in the description bar for you. But we chat daily inspiration and encouragement and money saving tips and advice and just, helpful people asking questions, and lots of people come back with answers. So if you are into either living sustainably, wanting to save money, or just thinking about doing a no buy or a no spend challenge yourself, then I definitely recommend coming over and joining the group. I'll leave that down in the description. It's called Budget Best Life because I do truly believe you can live your best life on a budget. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Anyway, so if you are looking for some tips to get started, hopefully this video will be helpful. I do feel like doing a low buy year or a no buy year last year changed my perspective entirely. I was a self-confessed shopaholic. I literally would buy things I already owned. I would never check the prices on things. I would just buy rubbish things that didn't bring me any joy and didn't really have any value, and something had to change. I actually did this as a no spend January challenge and it snowballed, and that is one thing I would say if you are looking to do no buy is just start small. Don't go into it with this huge weight of trying to do a whole year, because the chances are you will fail or you will be miserable. I would say you need to decide first of all, are you going to do a no buy year? Are you going to do a low buy year? Or do you want to do it categorically? How do you see yourself working? Do you buy too many shoes? Do you need to just say, I'm doing a no buy on shoes? Do you buy too much makeup? Do you buy too much skincare? Do you buy a certain thing too much? And is that something that you can maybe put into a category to say, I'm not going to spend on that? Or like me, do you just spend on everything and anything and you just needed to break those habits down? Make that decision and then it's going to be a lot easier to stick to it and also create your own rules. I would love to know if you are doing a no buy year or a no spend challenge. Let us know in the comments or come and join the Facebook group because we are so supportive and encouraging over there. For me, I always want to share my content from a non-judgmental perspective, because we're all on our own journey and what might suit me may not suit you. So you have to create what's right for you. So don't feel like you have to do something because the other person that you watch does a no buy year and they're not buying a single thing. Whatever they're doing is not your journey. So you need to have that in your head of what your goal is and why you're doing it. So talking about goals, for me, we're trying to buy a house and we're saving for the deposit for the house. So that was a very big goal, a very clear direction that I wanted to take this. But you may well be trying to get out of debt. You may be trying to save for a holiday. You may be trying to save for your children's college education. It's totally different for each person. So you need to write your goal down and actually have that somewhere on the fridge and trackable so that you can check in with yourself all the time. So on to my rules, and I want to say that these are, they may well evolve as the year goes on, because I've done my no buy year and now I'm able to buy things. My mindset has changed so much you wouldn't even believe. So I haven't really kind of set loads of rules. I've maybe set 10 rules, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, but I just want to kind of get that across, that they can evolve. If your circumstance changes, they can change. If you hit a goal, you may well want to pull back on something but then spend on something else. So they are going to evolve. But what I've really learned is that I want to buy things with intent and with a purpose in mind. I'm not just going to be frivolous with spending just because I can spend, because it doesn't really bring me a huge amount of joy. So for me, I discovered last year the things that really do bring me joy and not spending on the things that don't. So those things, for example, I love candles. I put it out there. I'm a self-obsessed candle lover. Self-obsessed? Self-professed, I think is what I'm trying to say. But that's okay because they bring me joy. If I don't want to buy clothes for a month and buy a nice candle, that's on me. I've decided to do it because I know how much joy it brings me. And I know that might seem ridiculous to some people, but each to their own, and that is my kind of mantra. You do you and I'll do me in terms of what I eat and what I buy and what I wear. Like, it's my personal decision. So I've really discovered things that make me happy and in terms of buying things. And that is one thing I would definitely say if you were to do your no buy year. The money mindset and the relationship with money changes so much, and you can really use those emotions to understand why you buy things and then help you to not buy them because you can understand those emotions. So other things that I really, really love when I do buy them, a nice pedicure, because I don't necessarily choose to do that to my own feet, but if I'm going on holiday, for example, I will go for a pedicure. I'm not saying that I'm going to suddenly start getting manicures every couple of weeks, because you all know I buy my sensational kit, which by the way was an offer in Aldi the other day. I'll try and link the one I use down in the description bar, and I can give myself a manicure whenever I want it. It's throwing up my time as well as my money, but if I want to get one, I will, because I know every time I look at my toes, I think, oh, they look really good, and I'm really pleased that I got that pedicure for 25 quid. So it's not breaking the bank, and it's not a habit. It's something that's actually bought with purpose and intent. My rules: makeup and skincare I can buy when they run out. So I'm not buying makeup, if I've already got something. I use things. Literally, my face powder, for example, has crumbled into 1,000,000 pieces, and I know you can get alcohol that you can reset it, but honestly there's so little left, I don't think I'm going to bother. But I will still use it because firstly I haven't got to the shop to buy a new one, but also because I know that I can actually still get some use out of it. So yeah, makeup and skincare, I have to use it all up and make sure I'm not buying it until I need it. The next thing is clothing. So if I haven't got something similar, or if it's with the change of the season, then I can buy something. But I will budget myself if it gets too bad. At this point, I bought a couple of items of clothing. You may have seen my last video, which was the first things I've bought since my no buy year finished. And I have bought some things because I spent the whole year making a list of the things that I really wanted, because I knew that I would wear them and actually do want them, not because it's an impulse purchase. So I think once the change of the season happens in spring, I will probably do a few wardrobe updates. I will also shop my wardrobe. I've done lots of videos on that before, as well as my minimalism stuff. I will go to the loft and I'll pick out the bags that I stored last year, the year before and choose some things from there. And then anything additional, some trend-led pieces, I will buy, but I will keep myself in check. So if I see that that's kind of unraveling and I'm spending a bit too much, I will stop myself and I will create a clothing budget. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I share loads of outfit ideas on a budget and kind of day in the life of living a frugal life, and my Instagram is Lara, Joanna, Jarvis. So if you want to come over and follow me, I'd love to see you over there as well. So that's clothing. Next thing is dinner and lunches. I've said I can do this once a month. In all honesty, in all honesty, I don't think I probably will be doing that, but I've said to myself it's okay. Last year I didn't do dinners. I did it if it was a birthday dinner or something like that, because it was an experience and it was enriching my life, and that was another thing that was key to me. If it was enriching my life, then I was okay to do it. But this year I'm going to say yes, I can go out for a meal once a month, because I got a half price voucher at Pizza Express or something like that, because I know that I'm not doing it too often. So for me, that's my rule on that. Coffees. So I have said that I can buy a coffee now and again because it's a treat and not a habit. I did a little calculation of how much buying that flat white on the way to work every day is going to cost you, and it is going to be hundreds of pounds. So if you buy a coffee every day for work, why don't you just take one with you, because you're going to save hundreds of pounds, and then when you do buy it, and this is how I feel, it's a real treat. So the next rule is to still sit on purchases. Now this is so important, and honestly what helped me so much, especially in the early days, because it really did make me reevaluate everything. So I have a rule of sitting on a purchase for 30 days. I will be a little bit lenient on that rule because I know that my mindset has changed a lot and I'm not buying out of habit. But this is so key, and I can't stress enough. It takes away that impulse purchase and that kind of haste of having to buy something because it's on offer and it's the best offer ever, because you're sitting on it. And actually, like I've always said in my videos, I gave myself that rule and I ended up not ever really going back to buy it because I didn't need it after all. So for me, I will still sit on purchases. The next one is to thrift more. I have got some thrift with me videos, and also I want to do more thrift flips. So I did loads of IKEA hack videos, and I want to be doing them more from a thrifting point of view. So changing up things that I buy in the charity shop and making them into something else. But they do take quite a lot of work, so I will hopefully get one of those out for you soon. But it's just about thrifting more and buying secondhand. I can buy things secondhand, and I love giving things a new lease of life. And that is another thing in my rules that I can buy. The next one is food subscription boxes. I have spoken about this before. I'm eating a plant-based diet at the moment, and they have been so good at helping us, eat nice food from scratch that is in line with that diet or that lifestyle. So I allow myself to buy those, but I always buy them when they're 50% off, so they cost about £20 for the week for 4 meals. And then often what I do is you may have seen this on my last grocery planning video. I shared with you that I get the recipe card and then I will go through and buy those ingredients of the recipes that I loved on the food shop, and that brings the cost way down. But I do enjoy subscription boxes for food because they give me loads of meal inspiration and they're always really tasty, and they encourage me to cook, which is one of my passions. The next thing I can buy is camera kit and work items. This is kind of a given. I have to have certain kit for making videos, like memory cards and lighting and tripods. Obviously a lot of it I already own, so I don't need to buy it, but that is just in my list of things I can buy. The next one is sustainable items. I'm making such a pledge to myself to try and buy sustainable things, or secondhand things that I can find that have got a sustainable option. If you've got any favourite stores, let us all know in the comments, because it's a definite learning process for me. And the next one is home decor. Now I obviously don't have a home yet that I own. We have been documenting the process of buying a house, but I knew that when we moved in, when we finally do find somewhere, I'm going to want to furnish it and buy new things. So that is also on my list, but I will be evaluating the purchase, making sure I'm not rushing into the decision, and making sure I don't already own something. So similar to, all the other rules all combined into one. So they are most of my low buy rules. I hope they've given you some inspiration if you are also trying to do this challenge to yourself, or just to save some money or pay off a debt, whatever it may be. I just wanted to say a final note really is that if you are doing a no buy year, please don't see it as a punishment, because I always use this analogy of it being like a diet. If you're on a diet and you never ever ever eat anything naughty again, then it's going to be so miserable. You've got to have a cheat day, right? So it's the same with not spending money. If you're making it into a really difficult, miserable process, you're not going to enjoy it. I came out of 2019 loving my no buy year, wishing I'd done it sooner, because I made the rules that suited me and I grew with that process, enjoying and appreciating the things that you have got and not thinking about the things you haven't got. So good luck if you're on this challenge. Definitely pop into the Facebook group if you want to get involved with everyone else on their own challenge. So let me know if you want any other budgeting videos or anything that might be useful. Do let me know, because I love making content that you guys want to watch. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!